Hey guys, Doc here to tell you about something that could really give you the edge in gaming. I'm talking about our show sponsor, Fade Grips. Thumbstick grips as well as controller grips that give comfort, precision, and control so you can take your gaming to the next level. Just go to fadegrips.store and check out all they have to offer. And with our promo code, CAG20, at checkout, you can get 20% off your entire order. That's fadegrips.store with offer code CAG20.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 42 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host Risky the Kid, and joining me this week are my co-hosts Doc H1X1.
What's up?
Chocolate Bear.
How you doing, folks?
And in our rotating fourth chair, community member Lydonian.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on with you? Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problemo. All right, first up, we do have a few things to get out of the way. Our Patreon episode or our Patreon giveaway episode, I should say, is going to be next week. So if you're interested in getting yourself in that drawing, you can head on over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. I also wanted to say that we reset our leaderboards in Discord. So if you're a part of Discord, every month we're going to reset our leaderboards, and you get XP for the leaderboard just by being active in chat for the most part. And whoever's at the top of the leaderboard that isn't me, Doc, or Chocolate,
God damn it.
you win yourself some Fade Grips, our show sponsor. Some grips for your sticks. Sounds
Well,
good.
excuse you.
That needs
Trying
to
to
be
make
the
this PG-13, I thought, and here we go.
Yep. So yeah, get yourself some thumb grips by being active in Discord. Links for our Discord are in the show notes, so click it and come hang out with us.
To be fair, we are real big on safe protection for your thumbsticks, though, so can't say that enough.
He's
There's
not
only-
wrong, I guess.
If you get a used controller from GameStop, you don't know where that's been. Is all I'm saying. So,
That's a good call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. They don't sanitize that.
no.
Can that be our next promo?
We can definitely make something good with that, I think. Yeah.
I'll contact the local health department, see if we can somehow get a
Oh my
promotion
God.
bid for that. So.
All right. So, moving swiftly along. Our next community play is tentatively set up for March 23rd. That's going to be a Friday at like 5, 6-ish Eastern. So that's going to be 10 or 11 for the UK people. Tough to strike that perfect balance on a weekday for the UK and the US people. But we're going to be playing the Master Chief Collection. So if you have Game Pass, you do own that. So yeah, that should be fun. We'll be plugging that the next few episodes up until that comes out, and we'll also be announcing it in Discord and whatnot. Last community play was a lot of fun. This one should also be a lot of fun. So,
And that's the Saturday, right? Not the Friday.
yep, I might be bad at. Yep, 23rd is definitely a Saturday.
Cool.
When I
Nailed it.
wrote Friday, somebody should have been like, "Nope, you're wrong." There it is. You corrected me.
And Chocolate, you should probably not do another UK-US challenge. Let's just avoid that
Yeah.
awkwardness altogether.
Oh, mind you, I've got a diamond in the rough with fists on our side. He is
That's
he
true.
is a
doesn't-
good player.
Yeah,
We'll
but
see.
one diamond is not worth more than...
One Dan pod.
Oh,
Or
he's not allowed
just-
to play.
What's the analogy here? Oh, whoa.
Pretty
I need
messed
to
up.
win. I need to win one.
Hey, don't worry, Chocolate. As soon as we go over to if we switch up to UK servers, we'll just get Sweeney on our side for that one. So.
Hey, I haven't heard that strategy before. Yeah. So Saturday, March 23rd.
Too soon.
Yeah, it is. That's why I was trying to just move past it. 5, 6 Eastern, 10, 11 UK time. All right, let's get into the show. Another week in gaming. What has everybody been playing? Do we want to just start with Anthem? Is everybody still playing Anthem except for
Hell
maybe
yeah.
Doc?
Oh wait.
God, he's the worst game share partner ever. Like, he buys these games solely for my enjoyment. I mean, he's the best game share partner ever.
I say it
Because
sounds
he
nice.
hasn't touched it, but, like...
Hey, I have every intention of eventually playing it, but I'm one of those weirdos that like if I don't get in on the ground floor day one, I kind of lose that sense of urgency. So I think that's what happened here.
So wait till the next update where they give you like a magic charm that levels you up to level 30 instantly, like Destiny always
That
does.
would be hilarious, actually. It's like, hey guys, I'm at the end game. What's up?
You
It took
grab-
me
Log on.
3 minutes. I just clicked one thing in my inventory. We're here.
Yeah.
Man,
been
that Owen
grind-
guy sucks. Am I right?
More like, who's Owen? What?
Oh man, Owen.
Oh, and that SOB.
I really wanted to like him at the beginning of the game, but
Then you must not have talked to him 8,000 times inside
no,
of
no,
Fort
no, no.
Tarsus.
Like right when you meet him, though, like I was like, oh, this guy seems fun. He's cheery. He wants to be a freelancer someday, and then
Lydonian's like, man, Owen really got a bad rep from these guys. They just didn't give him a chance.
no.
Not so much.
Continues the bad. You remember Luke's uncle in Star Wars, Uncle Owen? He
Oh,
was
yeah.
a jerk too.
That's true.
What if
And he
that was
got
the
what's
same
coming
guy
to him, so maybe
canonically?
this Owen will too.
He got what's called. He deserved to be burned alive outside
God,
of his
he
I
was like
mean,
a-
Oh boy.
anyway,
The skeleton from his
Anthem
horrible.
though, super fun. I have been experiencing some issues with like the quick play, so I think I beat like the campaign at like level 24, and so I've been trying to grind to 30, and supposedly quick play is the fastest way to do it, but it's really bugged, and you can't even like you'll finish a mission and just be at a loading screen for forever, and rather disappointing. So
Do you not get XP if it like
no,
does that?
you don't get anything.
Oh, my
I
God.
just
Ooh,
I
that's
spent
rough.
like 40 minutes today trying to do, like before I knew it was a bug, just to do quick play and then rejoin to get all the stuff that I had collected, and yeah, super disappointing. You get all the stuff, but just no XP.
I was
Which
just about
is-
to ask, yeah, if you log back on, if it somehow registers it, but I guess not.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
rough.
get the XP, which is what I want. I could care less about all the rares and epic drops I'm getting because they're just gonna be useless once I hit 30. So.
Yeah, that's what I keep trying to tell people is like, yeah, like don't be grinding for gear until you're level 30 because
Yeah.
all that stuff just quickly becomes irrelevant, and there's no way to like, well, you can craft stuff, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't know, just makes more sense plowing through the story until you can hit 30, and then really
Yeah.
going from there. What are you're maining a interceptor?
So I
still?
was an interceptor, but man, you just get one-shotted by everything on like hard mode, or like he just gets taken down so easily in strongholds that I switched to Storm, and I've been loving the Storm. Super fun, super powerful.
The Storm has less health than the interceptor.
I know.
I was just
It
about to
doesn't
ask,
make
like,
sense.
I thought Storm was just as frail as the
No,
interceptor.
I think the shield that you have around it allows you to get hit more. I don't know. I
mean,
did
You're-
the final mission like 2 times in a row because then you unlock it, and I did it both times on hard, once with the interceptor, once with the storm, and it was way easier on storm. I didn't
Okay,
die
yeah.
from one hit. It was weird.
I think a lot of that's probably dependent on your build too. Getting, I don't know, just armor buffs and stuff. Unless you're using a lot of like similar components between the Storm and Interceptor, I feel like a lot of it's just build dependent.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I hadn't even upgraded the storm at all. He was like super low, and I felt more powerful. So, I don't know. I also have been trying the Colossus out. Super fun. I just don't have the right gear for that yet. But the Colossus, I think, is definitely the most necessary person on the team because he can pretty much revive you anywhere you are.
Seems like that's the javelin that you have the most fun with. Everyone who plays the Colossus just is wading into battle, where I'm the ranger at the moment. I'm just hiding, trying to do as much help as I can or as much damage, and failing miserably.
Yeah, Ranger seems pretty underwhelming compared to the other three.
Yeah, I wish I didn't start with the ranger. I wish I would have gone Colossus or Storm or Interceptor.
The great
Whoa.
thing about this game, though, is like I decided I was going to play the Storm for, I don't know, maybe a couple hours over the weekend. And once you're level 30, it's like the drops you get from a couple stronghold runs or just some free play or whatever gets your secondary, your third character, whoever, really quickly up to wherever your top guy is, because like the weapons you can swap between characters, and whatever drops you're going to get are obviously just going to be falling at the highest level, because it's based off of your actual pilot level and not like your storm gear level or something. So it's super easy to level up those other characters, which I think is awesome, because it gives you a lot of versatility if you're playing with not the same squad every time. Like if you have to run a storm for whatever reason, you should have a backup storm, even if he's not as good as your primary guy. But it does make it pretty easy, which is nice.
Yeah, I do like that a lot. I love the ability to switch off, especially if you're running with different people, or even like since Doc, for example, has not played the game, I could just switch to a character that I have not played ever and run with him and upgrade that character to be viable in like maybe 2 hours, like not even.
Right.
That's not bad at all then, because like thinking back to like Destiny 2, where it's like such a chore to be like, okay, I want to have a warlock, I got to start over, I got to play the whole campaign, I've got to do all this stuff. Like it's like a 20-hour investment just to get another character up to speed on like that. So
Yeah, I completely agree.
yeah.
I remember at one point in Destiny when I was running 3 hunters, like 3 of the
Wait.
same class.
Why?
So
you gotta unlock all the passive stuff. Duh.
I guess okay.
well,
He wanted
yeah.
a full raid set.
it was my main class, but that just made it so you could do
Right.
each weekly 3 times for
Yeah.
hunter gear. So that was why I did that.
I gotcha.
But then just the thought of starting up like a warlock and not having gear that I could just transfer over is just no thanks.
A non-starter.
They kind of fixed that in Destiny 2, though. I felt like it wasn't as necessary because the drops were not as rare as Destiny 1. But yeah, I definitely think the drops since the patch have been really, really nice.
Yeah. Good stuff. I haven't really done anything new in Anthem. Chocolate, are you still playing a decent amount?
I'm playing not as much as I should be. I'm because of the amount of gaming time I have, I kind of flit in and out. So I think I hit it quite hard the beginning of the week, and then I've just fallen off, and my attention has gone elsewhere to other games. So I'm only level, I think, 12, but I've been
Okay,
playing with Soccer Greg, played with Fists, and they were quite a way ahead of me. Cobbo as well. So they've been helping me grind up my levels ever
Well,
so.
just don't let Doc beat you.
Well, yeah. I don't think I can I?
Doc will play for like half an hour and be ahead of Chocolate.
That wouldn't surprise me. I do need to get on. I mean, I do love the game and the movement and everything. It's just there's so much. It's so difficult to get enough time to play everything that's out at the moment.
If
I
only
feel-
if only you could stream the game to your Switch. I feel like that would
Oh.
solve a lot.
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
Anyways, that's just a pipe dream. But anyways,
If only I could put my kids in nursery longer. What?
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like the first 20 levels were like pretty quick. As you're going through, you'd probably level every other mission. And now that I'm like, I think I'm level 27 or something like that. Well, 20 and beyond, it takes a few missions to level.
I was gonna say I felt like the last like 5 to 7 levels going up to 30 took longer than the first like 23
Yeah.
levels.
Definitely. And granted, I'm doing this over a course of a few days. Risky did it over the course of 2 days. So, I mean,
literally.
you know what's funny is I tried like Friday night. I was like, all right, I'm gonna stay up late. I'm gonna like play and just grind to 30. And it became like one in the morning. And I was like, I'm going to bed. I can't do this anymore.
Like how Lydonian's
Like,
like, I'm gonna pull
I
a
was-
risky, and then he's
Yeah.
like, man, it's about that time, huh?
Yeah,
So-
I was trying to be like really like, man, I'm gonna be like risky and be like my old Destiny days, and I can't even come close to staying up that late anymore.
You just have to. You'll have to get some medicinal help next time to power through.
Did you see the numbers that Scottman posted with him and his friends, which just eclipse what Risky was playing?
Oh,
And how many-
really?
Oh yeah.
I was like I think I was like 4th or 5th on his list
Oh, wow.
of time played
Whoa.
friends.
Yeah, it was.
After like the first week, I was like,
That's
Man.
crazy.
Damn, that is saying a lot then.
I think
bigger garbage monsters than I am.
Yeah, I thought I think you had 44 hours or something, and they just
They were like up in the
eclipsed it.
80s.
Yeah.
Absurd.
We call them whales in the industry.
Yep. All right. Moving on. Division 2 beta. I hopped into this a little bit just today. I know there was some cosmetic stuff that you could get from doing, I think it was the Dark Zone tutorial, maybe, and then one mission.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hopped in to get that stuff. It was the open beta this weekend. So by the time you're listening to this, that time has come and gone. I'm pumped for this game. I only played maybe like an hour and a half, however long it took me to take out the one mission and do the Dark Zone tutorial to get my cosmetic whatever for the main game. Definitely just ready for it to be out. And I am finding that in Anthem right now, I'm kind of like, all right, my guy's
stuff to do.
Yeah, my guy's pretty close to being like, I can just be focusing on builds now, but my guy's getting like close to that end game point where it's like, all right, my guy's as strong as he can possibly be, but why? Why do I care if he's as strong as he can be?
So you don't get stronger stuff for doing GM level 2 and 3, right? It's just more of a chance at good gear, right?
Apparently, and the general consensus seems to be that upped percentage isn't worth the upped difficulty. So
Yeah.
a lot of people are just hanging out in Grandmaster 1. And their Cataclysm thing, like their aspirational content, isn't until May. So I think Division 2 is coming at a perfect time in a couple weeks here. That seems like it has a lot more as far as endgame goes. So that might actually last a couple months. And then by that time, Anthem will come back. I think these two will go nice, like hand in hand, if you're into loot and shoots.
Have they detailed any more of what the Cataclysm stuff is?
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
Just looks like a big storm with like extra monsters.
It's like a Sharknado comes in, basically, just with creatures.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I like what you're pitching. I'm down.
I will say that going through the main, now we're back on Anthem again for a minute, but a lot of like, I want to say mechanics and like different parts of missions in the main storyline. I feel like there's enough things that you could pull from these missions and like unique bosses and stuff like that they could definitely do some type of raid. Like, I'm just thinking of like Vault of Glass from the original Destiny. It's like the opening sequence, everybody had a spot they had to hold down or whatever, which is definitely a part of Anthem. They have like platforming stuff. If they take away your ability to fly and just use like double jumps and boosts and stuff, it's like you could have a platforming section. You have the bosses with different, like the spider boss where you can take off like little pieces of her to do more damage. It just seems like there were so many different parts of Anthem that they could have pieced all these together to make some type of raid. So hopefully they get some feedback about that at some point.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking the same thing when I was running through some of the missions and stuff. One in particular, have you done the secondaries or the second strike? That's not the final mission or the stronghold. Right at the end there, when you're facing the boss, you can't even damage the boss until you take out the
little
like
turbine things on the
yeah,
sides.
whatever that is. That's it. That's like a typical raid mechanic right there, and like they just needed to, like you said, just kind of piece together all these things that they have going, and bam, you got a raid, yay!
Or there's even that one part where you're like standing at these little consoles, and there's like a spinning like clock kind of thing up on the wall, and you need to stop it at each, like once the symbols cross each other, you stop it to make like a line. Like all of these are like perfect little raid puzzle things that I don't understand. Like everyone's favorite part of Destiny who played raids was raids, and you think they would have taken that feedback and been like, hey, we should do this, and it doesn't seem like it'd be that difficult.
Especially BioWare. Like BioWare could piece together that in like a week, not even like.
Well, it's super weird because like, you know, we talked about it all before the game come out, and now the game's out, and for the most part, it sounds like you look at this and you're like, you have to wonder why they thought that it wasn't necessary to have raids in this. Like when it is such a looter shooter. I mean, that is what it is. And because you just said it, you got to the end, you're getting more powerful. And if you were in Destiny and saying that same sense, you're like, well, I'm getting more powerful because we're going to get 6 together and we're going to go do the raid and then get real raid gear even higher in tier gear. But this is like, I'm getting more powerful I guess for
For
whatever
what purpose?
yeah, exactly. And then you're seeing stuff where you're like, well, they've obviously got mechanisms within the single player like strikes and stuff that you could put together to make a longer thing that you don't even have to call it a raid, call it whatever you want. But it's just weird that they thought that wasn't necessary for this game.
But do you think that's coming out? They're waiting. They want you to flush out the whole.
I mean,
It's possible. I mean, but it's
Maybe
the new way of doing.
Casual person like you, Chocolate's gonna.
Well, yeah, I'm
take
never going to
until
get
May
there.
to level up to 30, and then bam, we got.
That's
a
May
raid.
2030, by the way. 2030.
Chocolate didn't tell us, but he's actually a QA tester for BioWare, and they're getting all the wrong feedback. Is basically what we're saying.
But no,
Chocolate's like, yeah, I'm still working. I'm not even halfway there yet. Take your time, guys.
But you see now on some games, or a fair few of them, you've got this season 1 or year 1 type. This could potentially be a year 2 drop. Be the
100%.
wrong.
I just think
be the
that's
wrong
crazy.
move.
Yeah, that's true,
Yeah.
but I agree with Risky. I think that's a ball. I think that's the game-changing, like dropping the ball on that. Because, if we've learned anything from these games as a service is that, yeah, you can lose retention and put out new stuff and gain people back, but when there's so many of these games coming out now, you don't have the luxury of just losing people and getting them back later because they've probably moved on to a bigger, better thing, i.e. Division 2, which is coming out, which seems to have their in-game stuff in order from launch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Division
the
2's
problem.
gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's the issue that they have is that normally, if this came out like, say, when Destiny 1 come out, they might have had a bigger grace period, but I don't think it's there anymore.
I'll also say that we still don't know what the cataclysms are, so
It's a Sharknado with creatures in it. We've already discussed
that's
this.
exactly what it seems like it's going to be, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, back to Division 2 beta. I didn't really have much to add. Lydonian, you hopped into this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just hopped in to make sure that it was the same as the VIP beta.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I didn't
It
really
is. Yeah.
want to spend a lot of time. I don't even care if I get those. I mean, the gun skin is cool, but I don't really care about the little trinket things.
The gun skin you got from doing either, actually.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean,
good deal.
I wanted to hop in to see if it was better. I was glitching out in a few missions in the VIP one. It wouldn't let me finish a few. And
I don't think it's that much better, to be fair.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same build, honestly.
But,
'cause I was having audio drops, complete audio drops,
See,
from my gun, so it just wasn't. My gun wasn't making any noise, and the weird popping and some weird audio stuff. That was the only thing I really experienced as far as it not feeling technically right.
I
was
had
the
a
audio.
similar one where all the sound went out except the enemy NPCs, and then it really became obvious when they repeated the same stuff over and over, in a firefight. Because normally you wouldn't hear it because there's all these other sound effects going off. But I had the one where I couldn't hear anything but them talking, and it was kind of annoying. But yeah.
Yeah.
Doc, are you telling me that you hopped into the Division beta,
No,
but
the VIP
not
demo.
Anthem?
The VIP demo.
Oh, okay. The VIP.
Yeah. But see, I'm like you. I played everything that was possibly to do in that, and that's why I didn't really jump into this.
Yeah,
one.
I mean, I
So.
didn't really care about jumping into this. With Anthem, I spent probably 10 to 12 hours in that demo or whatever they had, and then when Anthem came out, I was like, oh, I've already done I want to be back to where I was.
This
and
mission
you're
again,
not,
huh?
So I didn't want to.
Oh, Owen, I see you again. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Owen?
Yeah, I don't want to do that again. So when Division comes out, I want to be completely surprised and everything like that. So
I will say, if nothing else, the Division. The only thing I thought that was underwhelming when I played the VIP demo was I thought the team deathmatch stuff was a little bit meh, but everything else I thought was really good. So that's
but
kind of
that's
what
just.
I gathered.
I mean, I don't think people are going to the Division for their multiplayer,
I agree,
their PvP.
And you have
Maybe
it
in the Dark Zone?
Yeah,
Yes.
like
The Dark Zone
PvP
seemed
a
cool.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Dark Zone
but-
seemed cool.
Team deathmatch. I don't think that. I think that's just what they throw in there to make people happy.
Yeah, because I played it, and it definitely seemed kind of I don't want to say an afterthought, it had hooks to it, unique features, but I don't know if I don't know if they ever intended that style of game to be PvP in a very small area, I guess I should say. But
I will say that did you guys go into the Dark Zone area?
No.
that Dark Zone East, I think is the one you get access to.
Yeah.
Felt like completely different from the rest of the map, which I think is really like it felt way more overgrown.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
there was just, I don't know, it was like the coolest part of the map in my opinion of everything I've played so far. And knowing that the 3 of them are all gonna feel and look vastly different from each other is pretty awesome, I think.
Yeah. It was super eerie feeling almost when you go in it and see
Yeah.
like all like because you can tell it was like massive crowds and just an outbreak happened in a period of no time. Like
Body
but-
bags everywhere.
yeah,
and
just
yellow dust.
super eerie. Yeah, like but it is really cool, and I think it is like you said a really cool area of like different levels of underground, above ground, and what's weird is there's a safe house in the dark zone now too, which is kind of weird. But
Didn't they? I think they
Did they have that
them
in the
at
other
the end
one?
of Division.
They
There was
might
a
have.
couple of them. I thought.
I never got into it very much in the first one, but yeah. So yeah, that was kind of different, but yeah, I'm super pumped for that game though. I think, and then we haven't really even still seen what the raids are going to be. So
I love that they're not saying anything about the raids. They're just like, yep, they're 8-person, and it's a different part of the map that you won't have seen.
yeah,
So-
the rumors right now is the airport and the Pentagon are 2 that they're thinking will be raid areas. So
Yeah, it's
That sounds good.
it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
I wonder how the 8-man raids will go, because like at least me, I'm used to a 6-man raid, or like what was WoW? I can't remember.
Well, WoW had several different ones. They had
yeah,
ones
I
that
feel
were
like most of them were like huge though, right?
yeah. That when they first came out, they were like I can't remember the exact player count, but I want to say 60 or more, or I don't know.
Yeah,
But then like they had smaller tier ones as time
8
went on.
8 will be an interesting number. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be interesting, because I feel like that's enough to where you can have some weaker links, and like as long
Oh,
as you
thanks
have
for the invite. Thanks.
Well,
Yeah,
it'll be
yeah,
like
hey,
how Destiny
chocolate,
raids
hey.
went. You know, it'll start. We'll all be civil, and towards the end, we'll be ready to cut each other's throats. So, you know,
I think 8's an awesome number because all the content you're doing for the most part is 4-person, and then so it's just like you'll have your first 4-person squad, and then you just kind of like link up with another 4-person
Yeah, you don't need to
squad.
cut
That's
anyone
kinda
out.
Cool.
that or it makes clans super relevant all of a sudden. you
That
know?
too, yeah. Which we gotta
And-
hop on that as soon as we can. Get that
Yeah.
Cross Atlantic Gaming
Yeah,
clan
make
up.
sure that other less well-known clan doesn't.
We gotta
get it.
have someone in Australia claim that for us. 'Cause
We'll just
it'll
have somebody
launch
switch their
first,
Xbox to New Zealand, and we'll get it.
right? Whoa, Doc.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
That sounds sketchy. Bit of a
Hey,
gray area.
But like you said about 8 people though, that to me, I just can't wait to see what kind of you were talking about like mechanisms in Anthem, but like having 8 people can make something super tactical in the sense that like 4 people could be in one zone and 4 people could be on the other side of a big zone, and like you could have like major battles occurring with like 2 teams of 4 and stuff like that. Like I feel like you can get way more complicated with the raid mechanisms and stuff with that many people.
Well,
And then
I
with
was-
the go
you're
on,
good,
sorry.
Chocolate. Go for it.
I was going to say with the added bonus of the abilities and dropping your medic in Division 1, didn't you? You had like a medic shield, and can you imagine just how that's going to work?
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And the two medic guys go to the wrong team as well. Oh, and blow your raid completely up.
Well, so that's the thing I'm looking forward to, because like in Destiny there was always those kind of awkward moments, especially if you were with randoms, where it's like, hey dude, can you go to the other side? They're good over there, so you can join them and I'll go hop over it. Like, like there was always those awkward moments, but I feel like with 8 people, hopefully there's less of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many quote-unquote weak links you can get away with, I guess, necessarily with that many people.
Yeah,
This-
I mean, it's like when Risky went to Apex and they had to cut Moose out, It's just like,
Oh my
whoa.
God.
Well, this is getting real fast.
R.I.P. That's why we don't play Apex anymore.
Yeah.
All right. As soon as we
Um,
bring up Gunman Clive, Moose will unsub from the podcast.
So the thing I find weird about this is that all the like content in the Division, I don't really know like what content you're gonna take out from, or what mechanics I guess that you would take out and put into a raid. Whereas with Anthem, it's like have found so many and they're not gonna have a raid, and this one I haven't really found any and they're gonna have a raid. So it's kind of like
I mean,
a weird disparity there.
Do you remember in Division 1, like, the public event sort of things where they'd have you like pick up the like battery things, and then you could only use your pistol when you were carrying a battery, and you walked super slow over to put it in.
So something like that, I
yes,
guess.
they have what's there.
But like, can you name a couple more besides that one? Like interesting things that weren't just figuring out how to take down a tank?
Yeah, they had it where you had to release the pressure in the valves for the pipes. They had like
There was a capture point part 1 as well, wasn't there?
yeah, there was capture. If we had Arrow Ben on the show, he would be able to give us a full depth analysis.
You would know
of this.
every single.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I think they have what's there. I think it'll be good, especially like that they announced that they're having raids, whereas last time they had no idea what they were gonna do. So.
And I mean, with 8 people, there's so much more stuff you could do than you wouldn't have even been able to see in single player. Like, let's say you have 8 pads where 8 people have to go spend on different things to unlock something, or like 4 that 2 people have to go to and defend each one. Like with 8 people, like I feel like you unlock way more possibilities than even in single player, just with like having to coordinate multiple things at once, kind of thing.
Communication's going to be a massive pain in the backside.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting for sure. So
Like, we can barely run a 4-person podcast without talking over each other, so I can't imagine how having 8 people in a party all trying to say different things. Like,
I can. Lots of deaths.
lots of yelling. Or I wonder if we'll get to a point where it's like, all right, you're team 1, we're team 2. Let's get into separate parties for this part of the raid because we have our own things to do, and then we'll rejoin.
I say we go the whole way
Something
and
like
just,
that.
and just RP and just talking like military lingo the whole time.
All right. I'm
Bravo team go.
It's funny that you said that because when I first started to see all the stuff for Division 1, I think I talked to like Dan and Waterloo and was like, we should roleplay the out of this game.
Yeah, man, I'm all about that. Let's do it.
We are Division agents now.
We'll just walk in. I will walk into the first raid and be like, yeah, man, today's my last day before retirement. I'm really pumped. Can't wait.
Love it. All right, Doc, you're playing some Hearts of Iron 4. I don't even know what that is. So could you tell me what that is?
Okay, real quick.
God, Doc, stop playing these random games.
It's really good, all right? No, it's a PC game. I recommend it. Mainly I put it on here because it's on sale for $15 right now. It's like a 80% discount on Steam. This is for anybody out there that likes RTSs and likes World War I, World War II stuff. So this is more of a
So no one.
probably. So this is more of a
College professors.
there you go. It's a top-down, but you're looking at a global map, and it's got more to do with so you can play either historical campaign or non-historical campaign. Historical campaign, all the countries, the outcomes can be different, but all the countries tend to behave how they behaved in World War II. And then non-historical, they'll do whatever the hell they want to, basically. But you're not controlling individual units on the ground. You're controlling divisions and what's within divisions that make them up, and you're doing treaties with countries. You're doing stuff like you're deciding whether you're a democracy, socialism, communism stuff. And it's interesting because, like, say you're a country that's a democracy. I cannot declare war on somebody unless they declare war on me in certain situations, unless I become socialist or communist, and I can do whatever the hell I want to at that point. So, but then, like, let's say you change a government thing, then you might have an uprising in your country. So, like, I was playing a game a while ago, and I was playing as Japan, and I look over in the Americas, and America had an uprising, and they had the Confederate States of America in the bottom half of the country, and the north was the United States of America. And I'm like, well, that's weird. So you have random stuff like that happen if you're playing non-historical. But I don't know. I'm a junkie for that kind of World War II history and that kind of big overarching campaign. And I'm normally into the RTSs that are much more, you build units, you build tanks, you send tanks to that point, and blah, blah, blah. But this is sort of a different one for me. But I've been a big fan of this series. I played the Hearts of Iron 3, and so when this one came out, I was, all about it. And, yeah, I've been playing that quite a bit. I'll probably stream it some, too. I don't know if many people would really care to watch it per se, because it's not the
They
most,
won't.
Yeah, it's not the most thrilling thing ever unless you're into this sort of thing.
You might,
Which is nobody.
you might hook a few people.
Yeah, you never know. But
They'll probably be weird.
exactly.
Yeah, you can you can maybe not invite them to the bottom of the Discord.
Well, we're just all right. Well, anyways, it's I don't know. I like it. It's a overarching RTS PC game set in World War II. But yeah, it's fun. I like it.
When did that come out? Is that
I'd
recent?
have to look it up. It's not super recent. The reason I brought it up and started playing it again is because a lot of the people I watch on Twitch that's a part of the late shift, like Burt Black, Bikeman, Gassy Mexican, a lot of those guys all started playing the multiplayer version of it, to where they'll all be countries and play at the same time, and that kind of got me back into playing it again. So.
Oh, so you're not just playing it to spite Lydonian then?
No, it's just I played it really a lot when it first came out. I can't remember when, maybe early last year, maybe. And then a bunch of the people I watched started playing again. And I was like, hey, maybe I should try get back into that. And yeah, been having fun.
That's all that matters, Doc.
Yeah.
No, it's not, Doc. He's lying. You should play Anthem.
He's like, it's trash. It is trash.
If you
Get
don't
in
play
Anthem.
The Division, I'm going to be really upset.
No,
with you.
Division I'm definitely in, because the Anthem is one of those that I held out. I think what the long and the short of Anthem, maybe why I didn't get in was, I didn't get in from the get-go, and that kind of throws me off a little bit. But I think B was the fact that it doesn't have raids, and the fact that I'm already kind of, my suspicions that I had about the game is already kind of playing out with what you guys are saying a little bit. Not that it's bad. It sounds like the game is well worth the money, 100%. But I think when I look at a game like that, I want it deep down to be a game that, like, we're already talking about. We don't even know what raids are in Division, but we're like, oh man, isn't it going to be cool when we get 8 people together and have to strategize all this stuff like that? I think that's what I want from those games the most. So I think that's, maybe that's the hook for me on those type of games and stuff like that. And with, Anthem, we might get that eventually, but right now it's just doesn't have enough hooks for me, maybe. Which,
Well,
I don't know. Maybe I can't say that because I haven't really played it that much, but
You are not allowed to have an opinion on Anthem yet.
yeah,
Sorry.
I've just played the demo and that's it. So
And the demo was terrible comparatively to the actual game.
comparatively, but yeah.
All right, good deal. Oh, Lydonian, you playing some Mark of the Ninja? That was one of the few games I've beat this year.
Yeah. Well, I was pretty much traveling for the past 2 weeks, so I brought my Switch and I was playing Mark of the Ninja, which, like, that game is super fun, super good, but I'm like super particular with the way I play it. I have to be full 100% stealth. If not, I have to like restart to a checkpoint, and it's just taking me forever to beat the game.
Yeah, it sounds like it would.
That's like, I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but like Trials Rising, it's like if I don't get gold on a track, it's like I have to start over.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
So it's
I know what
yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like taking me forever to beat the game, and I feel like some areas of this game, and Risky, you probably could attest to this, like they like want you to be discovered, or like you have to use your abilities in the perfect way, and it just takes forever to figure that you have to fail like probably like 5 to 10 times.
Like, here's a landmine. You have to use it. Go blow someone up.
Yeah, yeah. So it's taken me a while, but it's a good game, especially on the Switch. It's a perfect Switch game.
It's a perfect little stealth game. Like, all those stealth mechanics are so, like, they're all really good.
Yeah. I was playing my Switch a lot when I was traveling. I also played. I'll just get these ones out of the way. I played a little bit of Paladins with my friends on the Switch. And my God, that thing is.
You're what? Paladins? Is it?
Paladins. Yeah. Which I gotta say, last episode you guys were like saying how great Overwatch was as a game, and it just like brought tear to my eye. It was great. Thank you, Kabowski. Like, but anyway, I was playing Paladins, and man, I suck at that game on a handheld. Like, thank God I brought my Pro controller, and I could like somewhat do better than just playing with the regular Joy-Cons.
You know what you need? You need fade grips.
Fade grips. No, I honestly think it's just like the controllers on the Joy-Cons while you're holding your Switch is just not. I don't know. It's just I can't aim that well.
I just don't think there's enough stick. Like, I feel like if you push it
whoa.
up a little bit, oh my God. if you push the
Doc,
stick up,
just because
I know.
people have told you that in the past doesn't mean you're any less of a man.
Anyways,
and Chocolate's not here, so somebody has to.
yeah,
do it.
I was waiting for Chocolate. I was like, he's probably muted. Damn it.
Yeah, that's what I found. The same thing with Paladins though, and even like if you're playing an easy, like I play Grover all the time because he's super easy and I just need to like aim one direction and huff axes. But when I can't aim down the hallway, I'm trying to because the slightest touch of the joystick
Yeah.
like shoots me 90 degrees to the right or left.
Yeah, so
tough.
I played that game a little bit with my buddies. They're trying to get me more into it, which it is better than I've already confessed this last time, so I'm not going to go too far into it. And then also I played Fortnite. They had like some challenges a few weeks back where you could get a free battle pass for this season 8, so I needed to get those done with.
Did they
And-
offer that as soon as Apex came out?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean a
They
few
did,
weeks
pretty much.
afterwards, yeah. But it was funny. I was like staying in a hotel room with my buddy, which he may be listening to this because we listened to the podcast on the way up and he was loving it. So great work, guys! I think that was the episode Moose was on.
That's always a good time.
Yeah, always good time. But it was funny because I was like getting so mad playing Fortnite on the Switch and like just
Wait,
getting my
you said you were
butt
playing-
whooped.
You said you were playing Joy-Cons, not with a Pro Controller.
Yeah. It was terrible. Like, and with a hotel internet connection, it's
I
just,
bet.
yeah, it was very difficult. I wasn't even trying to win games or do anything other than get my, like, weeklies in, and it was brutal. So,
Have you played any of the new season? Didn't they just start a new season?
so I logged in to like look at the new battle pass, which I gotta say this season not that exciting. Like all the.
It's
like-
pirate themed, right, or something?
Yeah, but even
Yeah.
so, there's not really that cool like stuff to strive for like the like later characters. I think the coolest characters are the two you get for free at the beginning.
Oh,
like,
jeez, that's not good.
yeah, and so I'm not gonna feel like stressed out to like complete the battle pass this season. But yeah, the new world is cool. It's like pirates and the Lava King kind of.
What
I
about?
don't know really which one.
Tell me more about Weezer Island, Lydonian.
Weezer. Yeah, I actually have not jumped into a game though, so I have not
Oh.
discovered new areas. So
Okay.
I'll probably
What
do
is
that.
Weezer Island? Somebody has to tell me.
Well,
I think he was
risky.
making a reference.
Do you? Oh no, this is wait. You don't know about this, Lydonian?
No.
Tell
Oh,
us, Doc.
Dang, I need to look this up to actually get the detailed story. I didn't put this in because I thought Lydonian would know about it. But hold on, talk about something and I'll pull it up here. Sorry.
So, Chocolate, how are your kids?
She is very well. She is back to sleep. Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect.
We should have a good 10 minutes before she wakes again.
All right, perfect. Is 10 minutes enough for you to tell me about FIFA The Journey?
Yeah, plenty of time.
All right.
FIFA is dead, so that's when I move on to FIFA.
Okay, I just
and
had to
play-
come back to say, holy crap, what?
Yeah, I'm off
FIFA's
FIFA. now.
dead.
Yeah, it gets to around this time and you kind of just stop playing because too much has happened. There's too many cards out. People are slightly better than me. So then I move on to the single
I
player.
mean, wouldn't that happen in week 1?
Not in FIFA. Not in FIFA. Every other
FIFA
game,
King
yes.
Chocolate.
So wait, when does the next FIFA come out? I feel like it's pretty soon, right?
September.
What?
September. Yeah. Well, it coincides with the new season, so it's yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the journey. The journey is awesome.
Is it still Alex Hunter?
Alex Hunter. You start off as Jim Hunter. You start off as
Wait,
his granddad.
Oh.
Yeah, so it takes you back to like 1940 something, and it has the. I don't know if you've ever seen like old films or old things of football matches. So
We're not as old as you, Chocolate.
you son of a
I wasn't
gun.
alive in the 40s. Sorry, Chocolate.
No,
Chocolate, my eyes glaze over every time you talk about like dial-up radios and all this stuff. Like we weren't alive with that.
don't you remember the telephone where you had to like stick your finger in and move the dial all the way around? So yeah, so it takes you back to that time. So the pitch is like an absolute mess. the hairstyles are all in that kind of that era. Yeah, it was just brilliant. It really took you in and immersed you into playing as his granddad in that time. And I think by the looks of it so far, it's a 3-prong story. So you have obviously Alex Hunter. You then play as his sister, which I can't think of her first name.
Gertie.
So we shall call her
Sarah Hunter.
Gertie Hurdy Hunter.
Gertie.
So the instrument. Okay, great.
Yeah, and then you play as Danny Williams as well. Yeah, so I think I've just cracked onto Danny's part of the story. Yeah, it's
Good old Danny.
Good old Danny. Yeah, the Jack the lad. You know, the guy who likes to show off and be flamboyant. You know, I'm Danny Williams. I'm the big man.
Sounds like you, Chocolate.
Yeah, that kind of came far too natural, that did, didn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah, just a tad. So yeah, I'm enjoying. I love that. You know, the journey on the FIFA is the best single player sports game story by
Isn't
far.
there only 2? One of them's Madden. One of them's FIFA.
Well, isn't there one on NBA as well? Which I don't think.
Oh yeah, the Spike Lee joint.
Yeah. So I haven't touched
man.
that yet. Once that jumps into.
Oh, you might not ever want to touch that one. That was.
Oh really? Is that worse than Madden?
Oh, real bad.
Oh, it was real bad.
Oh, okay. I'll leave
Almost
that one.
almost in a funny way, but like they weren't going for the funny angle. So that's right.
How do they miss
Like,
the writers from
like
the
are
journey?
we talking about as bad as some of Spike Lee's movies? Bad?
I'll put it to you that
Ooh.
hey, you know,
Ooh.
opinions, but like I would say like YouTube 2K Spike Lee joint story, it is next level cringeworthy bad on some of those cutscenes. It is, the only reason I ever played that story mode was because at the time everybody was saying how bad it was, and I had to see for myself, and yeah, it was.
So, Doc, you will play a game because you heard of how bad it is instead of a
Facts.
game.
Facts.
That's good.
Facts.
You know, it's hilarious. I had no idea Spike Lee was a director for the longest time. I just thought
he
he
was
was
a famous Knicks fan.
Knicks super fan. Yeah, I thought he was just like someone that went to every single Knicks game and gained popularity because of that.
To be
That's
fair,
hilarious.
he's had like some films that I guess have done well, like critically, but he's also had some real bombs too. So like, yeah. it's-
No, I mean, I'm glad he won an Oscar. That was good for him. That was.
But I don't know. It's but yeah, check out YouTube 2K Spike Lee joint story. It's something.
It's well written. It's super.
It is well written. Let me tell you.
So that will put me off the
Oscar-worthy.
NBA.
Yeah, don't go from the one you're playing to that one. That's too far of a drop. So
Oh, okay. I'll jump into the Madden after I finish this.
yeah, kind of get a cushion for it. Go Madden, then that. Yeah, there you go.
All right, Doc,
Ouch.
give us the Weezer.
Okay, so I'm just
Back
gonna
to
read this.
Fortnite.
I'm gonna read this verbatim because it threw me off when I heard about it. So, summarize. Weezer Black Album released on Friday, but Fortnite fans have been getting a preview of the record since Season 8's launch Thursday. The band has an island in the game's creative mode that is like an amusement park with Weezer soundtrack constantly playing overhead.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
that
the creative
happened.
mode isn't actually like.
Part
The-
of like the map.
the
map.
battle
Yeah,
royale,
no one would
yeah.
ever like stumble into that just playing the battle royale. I guess you could, but you're not playing against 9 or 99 other people or anything. It's just like, hey, go to this world, explore, build. So, it's kind of like a Minecrafty area.
So now
Yeah,
they're ripping off
kinda cool.
Minecraft.
I mean, that's what the building in Fortnite has always kind of been. It's kind of been like
A
Minecraft,
little bit,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Weezer Island. Yeah, there you go. Anything's possible.
Great. Oh man, Doc, this is just gonna make Lydonian more angry. But are you playing through all of the Fable games, God?
Yeah, so I looked at my
God.
game list I had, and I was like, what should I play right now that's just really, worth my time? And then it just hit me like a sack of bricks. It was Fable. The entire series, because once I beat one Fable, I still don't have anything better to play, so why not play 2 and 3?
No,
so
makes sense to me.
yeah, just mostly for the streaming angle. I'm just playing through them because it sounds like we pretty much know that Playground Games is making a rebooted Fable open world RPG. So I was like, hey, I actually non-ironically liked the Fable series, so I'm going back to play through them. And yeah, first one is still really good. I like it a lot.
Why would that be ironic? Aren't they supposed to be a good franchise?
Well, I've always had the impression that Fable was kind of on the end of a lot of jokes, mostly because of Peter Molyneux, but that
He was a weird dude, to be fair.
yeah, with that, yeah, true, and he kind of promises a lot every game, and when it falls short, it's just like he just moves on to the next project, and it's like, oh, it's classic, Peter Molyneux. But
Do you remember him? Wasn't he Milo, the little boy in the TV for Connect or whatever?
Oh yes,
That weird stuff.
Yes, that was weird as hell, wasn't it?
Well, he did that. He did the God game, was one of his first ones he made, but it's always the same thing. It's always like before Fable come out, he was like, yeah, so we're gonna introduce real-time weather. So like we're gonna link up your zip code with the weather that is currently occurring in your where you're playing the game, and then that'll reflect in the game. And he would say all this crazy stuff all the time, which that's not that crazy nowadays. But like, he would say all
it sounds
this.
like he's like the guy who with the fire festival. Hey, they could link up and create a great game, huh?
Probably, yeah, that's probably dead on. But anyways, with all that said, if you take Fable for the games they are and nothing more, nothing less, and kind of detach him from them, I like them as a action adventure RPG kind of thing.
Fable's a great game. The humor in it is on point.
Yeah,
If you
it
like
is.
that type of humor,
It's got that very British kind of humor to it, which I do like a lot. And yeah, the first one's great. Second and third one, a lot of people kind of have mixed feelings about the third one. I like it. They went in some really different directions with you becoming the king and then making all these decisions that
Spoilers.
well, but that's a big part of the game, though, is that you start making decisions that like have an effect on the people throughout the game you've met, and it can have bad and good effects on people depending which way the decisions go and stuff. And the second game was kind of big because they added a dog mechanic where you always have a dog with you, and that's like a
More
different
spoilers.
well, these are
Jesus.
integral parts of the game, like it from the second it boots up. But yeah, but I thought they always told a pretty good story, and a lot of people didn't think they went deep enough in terms of how much of an open world RPG they were or were not. But I thought for the time and what they were and what they did with them, I thought they were really well done. And the Fable Anniversary, which is the first one, is actually Xbox X enhanced, so it's native 4K, and it looks really good. So
I feel like I always wanted to play these games, but never did, because I feel like they always, or not always, but back in the day I didn't buy that many games when I was in like high school, college, and so I felt like Mass Effect games kind of took over like what this would have been for me.
yeah, and to be fair, you probably, if you were going to choose between the two, I felt like you probably made the right choice, because I love Fable, but I really love Mass Effect. So yeah, you weren't wrong to say
Because
that.
it's kind of like if I remember correctly, Fable, if you like hung out in a dark like forest for a while, right, your skin would turn really pale.
Well,
is that what they like kind of sold people on?
Kinda,
Like,
that game was definitely, it took the Paragon scale of like Mass Effect and went all the way with it on that, to where if you're a good guy, literally, if you're a good guy in Fable 1, if
You got
you're
a
all the way
halo,
in,
right?
You literally got a halo above your head, yeah.
yeah.
And like, but like also cool stuff where if you did magic a lot, you got all these crazy neon blue arcane marking tattoos all over your body. And like, but then if you were evil, you would get horns and real pale. You literally look like a Sith Lord almost. Or if you ate a lot, you got fat. If you didn't eat a lot, you were skinny. Like they went hard in that direction of all the decisions you make affect your appearance and how people perceive you and all that kind of stuff. Which is still really cool to this day. Like, the one thing I will say about Fable is it aged fairly well in terms of like how it looked, because it's got a very not a cartoony, but a very cartoon-ish artistic art style to it. And in my opinion, it actually aged fairly well. And the combat and stuff is like left trigger lock on and stuff. So that's still used a lot in action adventures today, So like a lot of the stuff about it aged fairly well in my opinion. So it still holds up. Like, so if you did want to go back and play it, all three of them are on Game Pass. Like, they're worth it in my opinion. So
All right, great. Everybody should play Fable.
Chicken
No,
chaser.
don't do it. Play modern games. Play new games. Spend your money. Or spend your game share partner's money, and then they can not play the games.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Super weird dichotomy. So just go for it. Whatever.
The last thing I was playing this week is the new Trials game that came out last week, Trials Rising. I bought it on the Switch, and it's another Trials game. Believe it or not.
Real quick, based off what you and Lydonian said about Mark of the Ninja and Trials, do you guys actively try to go into a game and are like, how can I make this super not fun and raise my blood pressure by like 50 points? Because you saying
No.
gold on every track and him saying stealth only, I'm like, are you guys wanting to hate this game as you play it? Like,
No. I mean, with a stealth game, you try and go stealth as much as possible. So,
okay. All right.
and even it helps that the Switch doesn't have achievements, because if it did, my God, I would drive myself up a wall trying
You'd
to
have
go
like a
stealth.
Deus Ex moment
Yeah.
where it's like you'd be replaying every level to not kill anybody. And
Yep. But Risky,
will
I did have a question. How are you finding the controls and Trials on the Switch comparatively to the Xbox in the past?
So like the one thing that's weird is that the Switch triggers are just like a click. They're not. What is it called when it like presses
Capacitive.
down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have that on the Switch, and you also don't have it with the Pro controller on the Switch.
Yeah, that's been my biggest issue with the Pro Controller, with how expensive it is having those click buttons is a travesty for the triggers on that thing.
And that's it. It's kind of tough in a game that's so technical, like Trials, in the harder levels where you actually need to be like half throttling sometimes to get or like just do parts of it perfectly. At this point, I'm on like my second country, I think, and I'm playing things. I'm up to like medium, I think. So I haven't gotten to a point where I need to do that. They did include, which this is kind of weird and I find it uncomfortable. They made it so you can use the analog stick as your right trigger, because
What?
that actually does have like some give and it's not just a click. But playing Trials, if you can picture it, having your gas as like the joystick is kind of it's strange. It's something that I feel like I'm gonna have to get used to if I'm gonna be
time to get used to. Yeah.
right. Like when I'm playing the hard levels and trying to get gold on those, like that's gonna be near impossible if I'm not actually using the analog stick. So I probably should just be focusing on that already, but I'm not.
Doesn't sound right at all using the analog stick as your gas.
Definitely weird.
I think
But-
it's cool that they incorporated cross-platform leaderboards. Not that it really matters that you can play with each other. I don't really think that many people do that online that much. But like if you create an account with them, like you can get your scores from your friends on Xbox, on Switch, on PC.
I wonder if PlayStation's on there.
I didn't think so.
If I had to guess. I must not have that turned on then, because I'm only getting, as of now, like my friends leaderboard is just my Switch friends. So that must be something I need to do.
Yeah,
in with my
or
Uplay
do
account
they
or
have like
something?
an account? Yeah, it's probably connected to your Uplay.
Yeah, so I have to do that.
Have
They
you played
do-
it in handheld? Sorry.
Have I played it? That's the only way I'm playing it.
Okay.
Just because that's like the only way I play my Switch. Because if I'm
As-
going to sit down and look at a TV or a screen, I'm going to be playing my Xbox. So
Yeah,
it's just
I'm
kind
the same way. I only ever play handheld with it. Yeah.
It's good though. It's just Trials. There's like loot crates that you can buy, or you earn them every time you level up. But the cosmetic stuff is like my guy's wearing a beer helmet right now because
Solid.
why not? Those
Yep.
are just some of the weird
You
cosmetic
gotta
things.
stay hydrated while you're racing.
That's true. I actually fill them up with Noon, so got to stay hydrated during those long Trials sessions.
Shout out. Get those electrolytes.
Show sponsor Noon.
They also have hook us up, Lydonian.
Looking at you.
They do have a map editor or like a course editor, which it seems like you would need a PC to do this. I tried messing with it today just so I could actually see what it was like, and building a course on a Switch with just seems like it would be.
I think it's just
a
the Switch
nightmare.
risky. I think it's just the Switch because I watched the difference between the consoles, and I think it was just the Switch just can't handle the editor.
Okay, that 100% makes sense then, because I opened up and like messed with the little and was like, nah, okay, I'm good.
Back
I'll-
right out of this.
I'll wait until, because it does have like, I'm assuming it has like an upvote, downvote, some type of system like that, because you can get like the most popular courses made by like other people in the community. It seems like, so that's kind of cool. But one thing I noticed is that you can take pieces from literally all of the other Trials games. So like if I wanted to search Trials of the Blood Dragon and just make a map using parts from that game, that was totally a thing, and they had
That's
it for
cool.
every single Trials game, it looked like. So that stuff's pretty sweet. And the last thing I'll say, the X1 Bros, they set up a like fastest time. They do this once in a while. They call it a community challenge, and they picked a Trials map or whatever. So I've been trying to do that, and that's really halted my progress. As of right now, I have the fastest time out of everybody over there,
Get it?
and it's because I've spent like 3 hours on the same damn track. So that's
That's
really
awesome. That's what I love about the Trials games, though, is like the friends leaderboards
yeah, it's
are
awesome.
so fun to try and beat your friends' times. Like I remember when I first got Trials Evolution, I got it like pretty late, and all my friends' scores were already up. So I just go and try and destroy all of their scores. It was awesome.
Yep.
That's what I always like about how they do the ghost racing in that game, because I feel like
Yep.
they kind of pioneered that. So it always adds like a sense of urgency when you're playing those two, and like frustration sometimes you're trying to beat your buddies or whatever.
No, definitely.
Yeah, and the leaderboard is on the PS4. It's cross-platform for Ghost Racing leaderboard.
Huh. They must have
And-
contacted their account manager. And
Yep, and
Okay.
Rivals, whatever that means.
Must be in beta.
Yep. Yeah, they got a hold of their
It's too
account
easy.
manager.
It's too easy. What can we say?
Yeah, so it's another Trials game. It's a good Trials game. It seems like it has a ton of content, especially with people being able to make courses, and then you can play those as well. And it has multiplayer, couch co-op, all that stuff. So
How many
solid
people
package.
can you play in multiplayer? I remember the last game was 8, I think, right?
the race that I clicked on multiplayer, I'm pretty sure it was 8.
Okay.
So I would assume like a custom game would be the same. Not positive. Lastly, the Apex Legend. Do you have anything to add about Apex, Chocolate Bear?
Can't get a win. What is go-
All right. Hey, that's good enough. Perfect.
Yep, that's great.
Thanks for the
Considering-
weekly Apex update.
Legend
Legend.
status retained.
Well, I was off it for a week and then played my first game, managed to get second. I was like, okay, I'm ramping up. Next game I got third. It just went downhill from there.
Just down and down and
Oh.
down and down.
Did you guys see
Awful.
the someone did like a hit box comparison for
Yeah.
all the characters?
That's kinda
My
messed
God, Wraith is like half the size of some characters.
Literally, it seemed kind of messed up because the argument I saw, and I tend to agree with, is that if you have a game where everybody moves at the same speed, that's kind of messed up if they all don't have a similar or the same hitbox.
Yeah,
it's-
and they're not moving at the same. She moves way faster.
well,
like
yeah, and that on top of it, like, you know, is that because like like they compared her to Gibraltar and 2 others, and she was half the hitbox size.
Yeah.
Which even if it's already small, half of any other number is insane. Literally,
yeah,
at
it's
that point.
nuts. Like if you look at all the like pros for that game, like if you look at Dizzy. And,
They all play as her, yeah.
Yeah, they all play as Wraith because
And-
she's just unhittable.
And that's not going to probably change after this.
No.
And that's going to be my new main character.
Not to mention, Bloodhound was right up there with her, and also Bloodhound, you could shoot between his legs and not get a hit, depending as well. If they found
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I think there was like 2 other characters that were decent, but yeah, like Gibraltar and the robot.
Yeah, he might as well be like a billboard.
Yeah, the robot's hitbox is insane. I forget what his name is.
Which
Uh,
doesn't, which
Pathfinder?
Not Lifeline, is it?
Pathfinder,
No,
yeah.
Pathfinder, which almost doesn't make sense considering how wiry his frame technically kind
yeah,
of is. You know,
it's crazy.
Like, so
Lifeline is good hitbox, and I believe
That's the one I main.
I know
what's
Lifeline.
Bloodhound
what's
was
the
pretty
dude
small.
that like creates decoys?
oh,
Mirage?
Mirage.
Mirage.
Yeah, Mirage and Bloodhound. I think were the only other like playable kind of ones. But
Yeah.
yeah, Gibraltar, you definitely don't want to.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is kind of wild when you would almost expect like a small variance, but like that was like that doesn't seem right when everybody looked at it. It's like that doesn't seem right. So Yeah.
Have they responded to that at all?
Yeah, they basically said that they were looking at it and would probably have changes
Okay.
following. Yeah, but they were
I
definitely
mean,
looking at it.
like, let's say Gibraltar had like a bigger health pool. Cool. Like, that's
Well, and I think that's how you'd have to balance it, right?
yeah. Like,
'Cause
Wraith should be able to be killed easier.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if she has that small of a hitbox.
Because I think somebody was trying to defend it on Twitter, saying, "Well, Gibraltar has a shield on his gun and then a bubble," but I'm like, that doesn't really matter though if his hitbox is twice the size of a faster character,
Yeah.
and their health
Unless
is
he
the
has
same.
twice the health. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but if their health is the same, that seems, I don't want to say broken, but it seems like that could be perceived that way though.
Yeah. So they got some stuff to work out. Let's hope they do it.
Yeah.
I expect they will, especially because they're looking to get into the competitive scene. So
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else playing anything that is not our Gamepass Roulette game that they'd like to talk about quick?
Nope.
3, 2, 1, no. All right. So let's get into our next segment, and that is going to be Gamepass Roulette. All right, so this is Gamepass Roulette, where every other week we roll the dice on a Game Pass game and let you know if it's a hit or a miss. This week's game, or these last 2 weeks, I guess, the game we landed on was Hello Neighbor. And I will say that this is, I don't think we could have picked a better first game to have a conversation about.
I don't think we could have picked a better first game to spawn a better conversation in the roulette channel that might have took a bigger hit on Chocolate Bear's brand. And I won't say anything else, but
You don't need to now.
Tune into Discord if you'd like to know what we're talking
if there's not
about.
a reason to join our Discord, that needs to be it. Yeah, it's still all there. So
I figured we could start these. I'm just going to read a synopsis of what the game is every time for this. So Hello Neighbor is a stealth horror game about sneaking into your neighbor's house and figuring out what he's hiding in the basement. Play against an advanced AI that learns from your actions.
B&E Simulator.
That's from Steam. Yeah, so first impressions when you hopped in, Chocolate.
It
yeah,
looks
go for
nice.
it.
Yeah, I need to be very careful what I say now. It looks quite nice. I did enjoy the art style.
And then it gets weird.
Yeah, then I
Weird real
think
quick.
1 minute into it, I felt very uncomfortable. I managed to get to Act 2, and oh my god, it got worse.
So, and I'm gonna say that spoiler warning if you're super into Hello Neighbor and don't want to know what's going on, but with Game Pass Roulette, we're probably gonna talk about parts of stories and whatnot. So yeah, like 10 seconds into this game, you just hear like a small child screaming from like this house where this neighbor dude is.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he's getting locked in a basement, which
Or possibly murdered, like
or yeah, a number of things.
or stuff.
Yeah. Did you see the cutscene right at the beginning?
Wait,
Well, see,
where
that's
does
what
this game take place?
Oh, it just in a random like suburbia neighborhood. It looks like,
Right.
Like,
Do we know what country?
No.
You would insinuate it looks like American. Like, I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think anyone talks, do they? He
No,
kind of
no.
makes like loud noises sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, "Nah!"
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
chases you.
But like at the beginning, you do witness what potentially would be perceived as like
Kidnapping.
or he's knocked somebody out, or he's killed somebody, or something like, and he's taking somebody or something to the basement.
I've never had such strong feelings about a game in such a wrong
Neighborhood watch in general, just
It's just so wrong. The game for me just did not sit well at all.
How did you guys feel about the controls in this game? Because that might have been my biggest issue.
It feels pretty garbagey,
Yeah, it feels janky in my opinion. It does.
especially when a lot of like, in order to
Get to areas and stuff.
in
Right.
order to get to like the second floor, which is initially the first place you need to go, I had to like stack. At least this is how I did it. I stacked boxes
Same, yeah.
and
Yeah.
then had to hop on these boxes. But if you hopped on the boxes like incorrectly, I guess the tower of boxes would just fall over sometimes, or like
Well, and then-
I'd sneeze and it was just everything could go wrong from that.
And then they don't even stack as well as you want them to half the
Not
time.
at all.
Yeah,
No.
I felt like for what the game was wanting you to do, they didn't build in a well done control scheme, in my opinion. But yeah,
But also they didn't throw. There was no not even hand holding. It literally
No,
plonked
yeah.
you at the top of the street, and you had to go follow your ball to obviously Mr. Weirdo's house, and that was it. You had no idea there was. I think in the
Perhaps
end,
the hand holding was before you started the game, and that's why she got kidnapped. I don't know.
I think that was
There it
true.
is.
oh,
Did you realize that you could go in the house across the street from you? Across the street
it took
from
me a
him?
while to figure that out
No.
because so you did. Chuggin's like, wait, what?
Yeah, I know totally. What? How? What?
So that apparently is your house.
Yeah.
The house that's literally across the street from him, and you could go into it because that's where I initially got some boxes to stack up. Because you can grab things, then you have like 4 spaces in your inventory. So I walked into my house because I knew I wouldn't have to worry about him being anywhere, and then grabbed them and went over.
Yeah, because there's like an imaginary force field which he can't really cross out of his own yard. Sort
Yeah,
of.
and someone please tell me where the actual line is because I
It
would
varies,
be
yeah.
90% across the street and then he'd still grab me. And I would
Yeah.
say that the first, like as far as like jump scares go, I put those in quotations, maybe like the first or second time where he kind of like caught me off guard, it scared me, but it does this weird thing where like this deep music starts to play and your screen like starts to shake so you can tell
It
if you're like too
foreshadows it,
close
yeah.
to him. And I mean, it's helpful, but I feel like it kind of takes away from the immersion or like any type of scare that you might have because it's like, well, I know he's coming, so I better hop out the window and head towards the road where this NPC can't touch me. And
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, like in Discord, because like the first couple times is scary, but the crux of this game I feel like is that, but it wears off super quick.
So is this game? I didn't play any of it. I was traveling too much, and
No, you're good.
I wasn't gonna put my time into this game.
Nope.
And don't play it.
Not
Don't
with
play
Fables
it.
out there, you know what I'm
But
saying?
is this game supposed to be like a thriller or a scary game, or like how would you define it?
So
A hot pile of crap.
probably the best way I would define it is like a puzzle trial and error game.
So it's Gunman
with-
Clive.
Shots fired.
I don't know. I mean, what would you say, Risky? Like basically kind of like trial and error puzzle based with a sprinkling of like thriller horror, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the game sets itself up well, like as well as it can, I think, by laying out a mystery in front of you and being like, okay, who just got locked in this dude's basement? So you have an objective, but then getting there is the biggest hassle in the world, and like it has been said, there's no hand holding here. I literally had to bring up a guide.
Same. Yeah.
In
same.
multiple parts because I'd be like a half hour in to just being stumped and like,
Well,
what am I supposed to be doing?
I
I
streamed
literally
this
had to look
game.
it up.
see,
What a nightmare, Chocolate.
Chocolate's miseries are out there for the internet for everybody to see.
Chocolate,
Yeah.
is that where we got the new follower who was quickly out of the Discord group?
Who joined, and as the revolving door hit him in the backside as he left. Yep.
That seemed like the
The-
type of people you
Yeah,
pick up
that's
from
that
streaming
person
this
this game draws in.
This makes so much more sense.
Something you were saying, Risky, about the guide and stuff being stuck in parts. I would argue that after pulling up that guide and seeing what the answer was and how to get to it, I was almost more mad at that point, more upset, because I'm like, how am I supposed to organically figure out half this stuff?
That
like,
was the thing. Like once you were up in the, once I had finally gotten up into the second floor,
or got the first key or whatever.
yeah, I had to remove a picture off
Which
the wall.
how
And
would
there's-
you have known that?
There's right. There's no like crack next to the picture or like anything indicating that anything's out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Plus, it took me 45 minutes to figure out that I could move things off the wall. I thought I could just move boxes around and throw trash cans, but
Also, unrealistic
Ay.
physics. I threw a bowling ball at the guy's face, and he did not even flinch, and he still caught me. So,
yep. There, yeah. It's not
but like,
great.
it does feel like it's missing cutscenes though, because you make a good point. Like, Chocolate didn't know about the house that was your house to go in. I didn't know about for the longest time, but I'm feeling like that's a cutscene missing or something there.
So,
you know?
did you see that there's a Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek? It's a prequel to this that it just came out recently. I think.
saw that, and it insinuates he had kids at some point, maybe.
Yeah. So
don't.
I had to look up the story for this. So apparently, this dude got in a car accident, killed his wife on accident, like in the car. He had a daughter and a son. The daughter went crazy, and the son pushed her like off a ledge and killed her or something. And the son is actually who he's locking in the basement because he thinks he's like crazy. And he buried his daughter. If you look over on the side of the yard, there's like a grave over there, and that's where his daughter is.
Did not know
Is
that.
the son's name Boo Radley?
Yes, actually.
Chocolate probably does not get that reference.
No, I mean, the only thing I felt about this game, it was more like going into Neverland.
Oh boy.
Well, we're
Yeah.
just hitting that right on the noggin, aren't we? Just
Anyways, I don't. Let's go around. Doc,
I'm so glad you're the host, Risky.
is this game a hit or a miss for you?
This is a miss. This was in early access, and I had played the trial for it back in early access, and I will say that it has not progressed dramatically from what I played back then. Now, I don't know about ladder game. Like, I looked up for the time to beat this game, and it seems way longer than I would have thought. So, I don't know. Maybe there's a lot more interesting stuff that happens later, but with how it controls and with how you're interacting with stuff early on and how so silly trial and error everything, like you said, the picture frame, all that stuff just kind of made me so mad with like how we're expected to figure that out. Like it's a total miss. I just feel like the game controls fights you too much, and for what they're wanting you to do with interacting with the environment, it just it never feels good. So
All right, miss for Doc. Chocolate, how about you? Hit or a miss?
No, complete miss. Don't play it. If you want nightmares, play it. Other than that, no.
Yeah, definitely a miss for me too. There's nothing like a weird guy locking kids in his basement and then throwing white sticky goo at you.
yeah.
But it was a hit on Discord for Chocolate, so they
That's true.
Got
Gotta
that
take-
going for us.
Gotta take the bad with the good. Okay. So
it was worth it if nothing else for that.
good first game, I think. Not in an actual good way, but
Brought up lots of
interesting.
discussions.
Yes. A lot of not. I want to go into Discord and look at the channel and be like, this is what the community had to say about this game, but it quickly devolved into like a weird. I don't feel comfortable saying it on the podcast. It just turned weird about this game because the game's weird, and hopefully the next game, which we're about to pick, will bring out some questions and actual comments from the community about the game.
If this is the
Speaking of,
prequel, I am going to be so mad.
Speaking of, though,
God.
Neighborhood Watch. Always have a watchful eye. And this ad is brought to you by Protective Parents of America.
If you see anything suspicious, call 911
Yep. All right, so
or whatever your emergency phone number is in your country.
What is it in England, Chocolate? What's your 3 numbers?
999.
999, that's it. Yeah, okay.
okay. Glad we figured that out. All right, so I have all of the Game Pass games in the randomizer. I'm going to select one. This is going to be our game for the next 2 weeks.
WWE.
Oh, all right. Survey says. All right. Sonic and Knuckles.
Yes!
On Xbox Live.
Yes!
Dream come true.
This is going to be great.
All right, so
Already a hit.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
So our game for the next 2 weeks is going to be Sonic and Knuckles. All these games are obviously in Game Pass, so feel free to play along and chime in on the Gamepass Roulette channel in our Discord. Yeah, all right, Sonic and Knuckles. Hey, it can't be worse than Hello Neighbor, is my starting opinion here.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know. Guess we'll see. All right, with that, let's get into some news. All right, Doc, what is in the news this week, and can you give it to us in under 12 minutes?
Hell no. First up.
Hits. Quick hits.
This is just a follow-up to a story we had last week about Game Pass on the Switch. So they had a Xbox subreddit put out a poll, I guess you could, or just a survey for all the people on that subreddit from a moderator, and it was found that nearly 25% of Xbox players that did not currently own a Switch said that they would buy a Switch if they could play Game Pass on it. This is per TrueAchievement.com. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that last week. I think that's a no-brainer in terms of selling more Switches to maybe Xbox-only players, if they could have a mobile Xbox version. I know we're kind of in a weird scenario because, like, all of us already have a Switch.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how many people here.
Yeah,
don't own
yeah.
a
So like we're in
Switch.
that weird scenario of like this just benefits us. You know, it's not like we would have to buy one, you know, to get the benefit. But I think that's just more evidence that it's like, yeah, this seems like a no-brainer from both sides of Nintendo and Xbox.
I could see this being like if you like me personally, if I had been on the fence about getting a Switch for a while and then this news came out, it'd be like, yep.
Yeah,
Done.
that's the final thing to tip you over the edge, right?
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so yeah, that'll be you know, again, we'll have to wait till E3 to probably learn more about that. But yeah, it seems like a good idea. Moving on, next Assassin's Creed is titled. I'm excited for this. It is titled Legion, and it is set in Rome, and it's coming in 2020. By the title of that, I would assume this is set during Roman times. Which, if that is true, day one I will be on this game, 100%. That is my favorite historical period, and that could be really cool. So, what do you guys think if you could play a Assassin's Creed game that takes place around the time of, I guess technically Julius Caesar was in Origins, you know, and stuff like that, but that was set in Italy, primarily around Rome, Roman soldiers, Roman legionnaires, things like that.
I mean, my first thought is that Odyssey and Legion kind of seem like they're going to be
Very similar.
Clashing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be another dude with a sword and a shield.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I thought for sure we had heard for so long the rumors of like a one set in Japan, and you would be like a samurai ninja.
I
that'd
can't
be
believe
amazing.
that's still not a thing, dude. That's,
Yeah, it seems like it writes
that blows
itself,
my
right?
mind.
Yeah. Which, you know, this is a rumor from a site called Next Gen Rumors, which I think Game Informer ran a similar update on Twitter or something like that. But it seems like there is some credibility to this. But I'm like you. I thought for sure that we were going to get a Japan or something. Because, like, not that this is, you know, when I first saw Rome, I was like, well, haven't they already done a lot with the Renaissance and all that stuff? And I'm like, oh, Legion, it's probably set in, like, Roman times. But you're right. Odyssey was, you know, it's not hard for a lot of people to confuse Greek and Roman mythology and settings and stuff, you know. So
I'm just sick of like the European like Assassin's Creed. Like, yes, they've been good, but like, come on, yeah, take us somewhere else. Like, Origins was cool, right? Because you were in Africa.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 3 was a pile of garbage, though.
I mean,
But hey, 4 was
I
good.
liked that one.
3
Like,
was
you were
alright,
The
but-
Native American, yeah, that
Alright,
was cool.
sorry.
3 was all right. The Tomahawk
The
and stuff
story
was
cool too.
Yeah.
Like going after your dad, who like is a what do they call those evil people?
Oh,
Yeah.
the Templars.
Templars, that
he's
was
a
it.
Templar and all that. Spoilers.
But like
But
4
yeah,
in the Caribbean was
I agree.
good too.
I think Rome is way too similar to like Greece and all that sort of stuff. Like,
It's a little bit
seems like-
worrying.
What'd you say?
I was just about to say, it's a little bit worrying that potentially those two are so close together that assets.
Might be quite similar.
I see.
Yeah,
Actually,
there's-
you just made a lot of sense with
copy
that. Actually,
paste, copy
Yeah.
because
paste.
like villas
Change the
and stuff,
colour here.
Yeah, villas
Yeah.
in Greece would look a lot like the ones in Rome. Yeah, totally.
I think this would be a lot better received if we were getting a game in between these two. In a different setting.
With
I
how
just feel like you
big,
can't put these back to back.
yeah, actually, maybe you're right too. Yeah, with how big the map was in the Odyssey and Origins, I have to assume it'll be the entire Italian peninsula. They'll probably right.
Yeah. But I don't know. Odyssey went down to like 50% in like 2 or 3 weeks. So if
Yeah,
Legion is
just
going
buy
to
it
be a
on.
thing, I
It's
would say
$20 right now, right?
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah, yeah. Actually,
So,
the
wait for a sale.
The complete like grand gold edition, which was like $120 at release, is down to $30.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I got it for free, so I'm gonna play it on my PC.
Same. I
through
got it on
Google
the
Stream,
Google.
so-
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Talking of Assassin's Creed, I watched the movie 2 nights ago. Very good.
How's old
Did it-
Fassbender doing?
Did that take over your best video game to movie
Yes.
category?
100%. Best one I've ever
Seriously?
seen.
Not
Yeah,
ironically.
I loved it. No, I loved it. I
Alright.
thought it was the story was really good. I enjoyed it.
I thought how they did the
Animus.
was
Animus-
a little dumb.
Weird.
The Animus sucks in the game too, though. Like,
Yeah, 100%. It's a tanning bed.
Hep-
That's what it looks like.
Tanning bed for your mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, the story I thought was brilliant. The Animus was absolute garbage, but the story was not bad.
I still haven't seen it, so I'll have to give it a watch. At some
Is it
point,
on
I guess.
Netflix or something?
In the UK, yes.
UK Netflix.
Oh, just flush that right down the toilet.
Just get whatever that VPN thing is, change your country, and bam, you're good to go. Risky.
True. I need to get one of those anyways. That's probably true. Well, did we ever take a vote on this about whether or not we thought that they should just get rid of the Animus and just have it where you're that character back in that time?
I mean, I think that's an obvious vote. Yes.
Yeah. Me
Nobody
too.
liked Desmond.
Yeah, I've always voted yes for that, and I don't know why they hold on to the present day stuff.
So, for me, it was like the first few games. Desmond sucked, but I thought all of this was like leading up-
somewhere? Yeah.
right? Like leading
To like a modern day Assassin's
Yes,
Creed game.
Yes,
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
and
but
it
no.
never did.
Because
Never did.
Because you remember like the Desmond when you're like climbing up a skyscraper and like
Yeah.
hopping over beams and stuff. It's like, yeah, this is totally where this is going. Like a awesome modern day Blade Runner, like futuristic Assassin's
I think it was
Creed.
at the end of 2 where you're like breaking yourself out and
Yeah.
escaping.
Yes.
And it's awesome. You're like, yes, modern day Assassin's Creed. The next game is gonna do it, and then Assassin's
No.
Creed
Next game
3,
you die.
you're just in a cave.
and then you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're dead.
And then it gets better because then after that, in 4, they literally make it all out to be just a meta joke of like you're working at Abstergo and
Oh
you're a
my
hacker,
God,
and like you'll read internal emails about how they dissected Desmond's body to get every last piece of like memory he had, and I'm like, this is so weird and stupid. What is going on? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, as soon as Ubisoft realized, like, hey, these will make money every year, we can't make it future yet because that has to be the very last game.
I mean, how cool would it be if you were an assassin? Like, imagine Spider-Man, but Assassin's Creed. Like,
Yeah.
that's sort of like, that would be amazing.
And I think that's what we all thought we were getting eventually.
Yeah,
and we
like
never
you're
did.
going through New York, taking out or Chicago, taking out gang members and all that sort of stuff. Like, essentially, take the Division, put Assassin's Creed.
You
Bam.
are-
That's what we want.
You already got your Assassin's Creed in Chicago. It was called Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I
Rip.
didn't play that
Rip.
game.
Instead, we get Cassandra walking up in an Armani suit with a staff, being like, "This is Assassin's Creed."
Ay.
Quick hits. Let's go.
Crickets.
Next
4
up-
minutes, Doc. Or
Next
3
up,
minutes.
did you guys ever play Phoenix Wright Attorney or Ace Attorney back in the day?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Okay, well, it's getting a trilogy on Xbox, so you're perfect for it. If you've never played it. On April 9th. Look for that eventually.
Had it never been on Xbox or something?
No, not to my
Okay.
knowledge. I don't think any of them had.
Cool.
Moving on. Microsoft recently tested a form of State of Decay 1, or Year 1 edition, whatever it's called, in the Insider program. I actually tried this out myself, downloaded it. What's interesting about the download when you signed up for this, because when the first thing I saw in the Insider program was, I was like, why are they giving me away this to test? Because at first I thought I was testing new features on State of Decay 2, and then I started downloading. I was like, oh, no, wait, this is State of Decay 1. Why are they doing this? So when you go to download it, you do not download it from the Windows Store at all. You download it as like a separate executable file, as if you were downloading, say, like, back in the day when you would buy a PC game and install it or whatever, it would just be an executable file on your PC. So that was weird to begin with. And then I went online, did some digging, and so this has stirred up a big story in the community because people dug further into the install files, and it actually you install a version of DirectX that has a lot of references to Durango, which is, of course, what the code name for Xbox One was before it came out. And it would appear that Xbox is developing this DirectX to essentially make your PC run like an Xbox. Because I found out also that the State of Decay 1 installs from the Xbox store, not the Windows store, on your PC. So, theoretically, this means that you could have your PC basically be an Xbox and run all the Xbox games you own digitally.
Man, you just said so much stuff.
Okay, again, summing it up, all it comes down to is that basically your PC could run an Xbox One, not an emulator, but just...
But the DirectX stuff, the same thing that could
the same
potentially
stuff that
be
your
running
Xbox...
on my phone eventually,
Yes.
Totally, yes.
Okay.
And so I think this couples with the fact that for a long time, Phil Spencer and Microsoft has been like, yeah, we see Game Pass being on the PC one day, not right now, but eventually, and I think this is... If you're not looking at the xCloud angle, this is probably the angle you're looking at just literally making the PC run like an Xbox.
So do you think State of Decay might be one of the first games that you see on like xCloud? Or do you think that
No,
it'll drop
I
altogether?
think that was just a test. I think that was literally just them doing a test, basically, is all it was. Because I don't think there's any rhyme or reason for the one they chose. I think that was literally just to test it out.
All right.
But because otherwise, like when I boot it up, it runs and behaves just like if it was from the Windows store, but it just the way it installed and stuff was different. So anyway,
Alright.
so that was interesting. Moving on, Cyberpunk 20. I'm pretty sure it's 2077. Did somebody change that on purpose? Anyways, Cyberpunk 2077 will be at E3 per CG Projekt Red. I don't think this is a big surprise, but I think it was definitely one that I could see you typing, Lydonian. Anyway, I like how you tried to hide your cursor elsewhere, though, to like, nothing to see here, moving on. I don't think anybody's surprised that this is going to be at E3. I definitely think it was one that a lot of people want to see more of, and hopefully maybe we'll get a release date this year. I don't think there's... any of you guys think it's coming on anything other than next-gen consoles, though?
I mean, doesn't it kind of have to?
I mean, theoretically, it could come out this year or early next, and it wouldn't be.
No, I think they're going to save this as a console launch sort of thing.
So,
but I just meant, but it'll still run on your Xbox One.
Not my OG.
I don't know.
Not my OG.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, this kind of brings up what we talked about last week, where it's like, where does the line get drawn?
No, I mean, you're right. I think that there's no way they could be developing it for next gen and not this gen as
okay,
well.
I see what you're saying. I think you're probably right, but I also think it's going to come down to a game-by-game basis, though. I do. Because eventually we're going to get to the fact that there is such a gap between the high-end next Xbox and the base OG Xbox One from 2013 to where, if it does run on both, you're going to be like, it's going to look like an Atari versus like
Although
1080p.
When you guys were talking about this last week, I was like, it's probably not that difficult because if you look at like computers and the way computers are like built, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
someone could run Fortnite we'll just call it Fortnite on a GTX like 1050, and then someone could have a 2080 and still be playing it, and they just have to lower the performance settings.
Well,
so like if Xbox enables that, then heck yeah, they could just be like, all right, you have to enable performance settings. Maybe we don't see that on our end, but like if the console recognizes like, hey, this game, I'm an Xbox One X, I can run it at this, or the next gen console can run it at this, original Xbox can run it at this.
You're right. I do think it completely depends on the game, because one thing about PC gaming is some games scale a lot better than other games do, for sure. Like StarCraft 2, you can run on a computer that came out like 10 years ago, but like some games like Metro Exodus, you have to have a pretty beefy machine to even run it on low settings. So I think it totally depends on the game, honestly. But I think it's possible, though. I mean, I think if Microsoft and Sony and them give enough incentive for them to continue to develop older consoles, then I think it's totally possible, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, this will definitely be an early test case, though, for testing the limits of it, for sure.
Right.
Because what we saw at the last E3 looked amazing. So
Pumped.
Yeah.
Pumped for it for sure.
Absolutely. Moving on, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will be at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago, Lydonian. See the game for the first time on April 13th.
Ooh.
Good.
So, sounds
Finally,
like
something Star Wars that's going to be awesome, hopefully.
from Respawn, too, no less, coming
Right.
off of Apex. So,
Apex, yep.
I've got a little momentum going
Star
into this.
Wars Battle Royale.
Could you imagine?
100 Jedis fall into an arena.
Oh my god, that would be so fun. It'd be just a cluster, but so fun.
I'm all about it.
Just force powers left and right. Yeah, so we're gonna actually sounds like we're gonna see actual gameplay on the 13th. And
Think we get a release date?
I think they've already said it's this year. So
Okay, so we might get an actual date.
yeah, we might get a hard date. Yeah, because I would assume, nothing. This is a total guess, but I would assume September, October, November. But who knows?
When's the next Star Wars film coming?
Is that the Boba Fett one?
Well,
I think it's
the one this
it's the
year?
actual
Oh no, it's a
next core
numbered one.
film.
It's the
Yeah.
numbered one. Yeah, at the end of the year probably sometime.
I'm wondering whether it will coincide.
Probably.
and
December
hype.
December 20th. I was gonna say Christmas time. So yeah, December 20th
If
is the
Disney,
date for.
yeah, if
that.
Disney has anything to do with it, I would say 100%.
Because you got to be able to have that DLC that goes along with the movie.
I believe the Disney CEOs call it synergy. So
Yes.
we have to maximize synergy. Anyways, yeah. Now I gotta take a shower. Anyways, moving on. Obsidian CEO on Microsoft purchase and the Outer Worlds future. Fergus says that Obsidian has 4 teams: 1 making Outer Worlds, 2 finishing up Pillars of Eternity 2, console port, and 2 other teams that are starting up on new IPs. That sounds awesome. Because we haven't even got the Outer Worlds yet, and that looks amazing. Pillars of Eternity 2, I forgot that that's getting a console port. I'm excited about that.
This wasn't in here, but did you see that the Outer Worlds release date got leaked, potentially?
No, I did not see that.
August 6th. I think it
This
showed up
year?
August 6th of this year.
Whoa.
I feel like it was an online retailer, and it got posted, and then it got taken down immediately. Some news outlets were picking up that story a little bit, but if that's true,
that's awesome.
so-
That means
way
they've been
quicker
working
than I
on it
thought
for
it
a
would be.
while. Well, it means they've been working on it for a while, more than we
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
Yeah. Here's my big question with that. Since Microsoft bought them late in the game, do you think this is going to be similar to what happened with Ninja Theory and that game, to where it does come to Game Pass, maybe just not day one?
Yeah, I mean, they were already asked if it had anything to do with Microsoft, like anything with the Outer Worlds, and it had nothing to do with it, apparently.
Yeah. Because I think that was up in the air, too, about whether or not 2K or whoever's got the publishing rights has it to the sequels as well. But I would assume if Microsoft threw enough money at it, they could make it happen either way. But anyways,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think the 3rd and 4th teams working on new things, that's the intriguing part here.
That's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Which means they are a larger studio than I thought they were.
Yeah, 100%. Because I thought the Outer Worlds was here, and then Pillars of Eternity was probably they've just been working on it. Or
that was
whatever.
their 2 teams or whatever. Yeah, I did not, unless maybe they've been staffing up. I don't know.
Maybe Microsoft threw some people their way.
Yeah,
Some staff. Here you go.
maybe. But yeah, so that sounds good. We already know that Sea of Thieves has 2 extra teams aside from Rare has 2 extra teams aside from the Sea of Thieves teams that are making new IP. So there's a lot of Microsoft teams that you think of as one team, but they're working on multiple projects. So
Yeah.
that's cool. And you really could start to see the whole, like, them pumping out new games quarterly kind of, thing that they said previously. Their motto that they came out, I don't know if we talked about this before, but was 20 studios by 2020. And I think they are 7 studios short of that, and they were already saying how they're going to announce more at E3 this year. But that's insane if they announce 7 more studio acquisitions at E3
If you
this
just
year.
think about that, it's like all the crap that Microsoft always got was like, where are your games? And Phil Spencer's like, oh, you want games? Is that what you want?
Part of it also seems like Phil Spencer being like, oh yeah, nerd, you want games? Well, fine, we just bought everybody. Here's all the games. Are you happy now? We bought them all. We bought you too. Like,
Can you imagine him going back in his dressing room, just opening the checkbook, going, right, that one's written.
I think the
That
bigger
one's done.
story here is, you know how he's big on his T-shirts under his jacket? He's got a huge wardrobe now, if you think about it. Like all those studios. Like, the man is set, you know? But yeah, so a couple. I didn't put this in the news, but Clobrow, who has leaked a bunch of studio acquisitions before they occurred at XO and all that stuff, he was recently saying that Piranha Games, who makes all the mech games, it's rumored that Microsoft would buy them, which makes sense considering Microsoft has a couple of mech franchises that they haven't resurrected in forever. Also, what's the team that makes like City Skylines and all the city builder stuff? Paradox?
Oh.
Is it Paradox Interactive
Yeah, I
or
think
something
it's
like
Paradox.
that?
Yep.
They've rumored about them, and I want to say there was 2 other ones. But all of those kind of make sense because Paradox makes PC RTS games. That makes sense that they would probably buy somebody like that. But either way, they're still 7 studios short of the whole 20 by 2020 initiative. So E3 might end up being a crazy, crazy show for Microsoft. So we'll see.
My hope is that they don't and I think Microsoft's gonna do it right. I just don't want them to rush these studios into pumping out something when it's not ready. And
They won't need to because
Well,
they have
see, that's
so
the
many.
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
I wonder what
Yeah.
the timeline is. Is it hey, every 18 months you guys need a new game, or every?
Well, think about it this way. If you've got 20 studios, and by all accounts, all these studios are averaging 3 teams a studio. Like some of them, like Obsidian has 4 teams apparently. But we know Playground Games has 3 teams, one doing Forza Horizon, one doing Fable, and one doing something we don't know. But let's say they all average 3 teams. 20 studios, and if you let's small ball it. Let's say two studios or 2 teams per studio. That's potentially 40 teams working on games at one time.
That's not
So-
including whatever they've got in the pipeline,
pipeline.
previously before they've done any of this.
Let's say Microsoft gives them each 5 years apiece to have their game come out in a quarter. It wouldn't be impossible for Microsoft to put out a new game in Game Pass 4 times a year in every quarter, every year going
Yeah,
forward.
that would be insane. In 5 years is definitely a doable timeline.
Yeah, and clearly they're taking an initiative of taking their time. Gears of War 5 normally is on a 3-year cycle, is going to come out the end of its 4th year. Halo Infinite, which Halo's normally on a 3-year cycle, will be going on 5 or 6 years if it doesn't come out till next year. So they are clearly taking their time and giving the studios time that they need to make these games as good as possible. So,
Well, they don't want to release a Crackdown, do they?
hey, for what it's worth, I got my money's worth out of that game. So,
Doc, you
No.
didn't pay any money for that game.
exactly. So
Pay your money. Or play your games you're actually paying for.
you're right.
No, Crackdown's good. I enjoy Crackdown, but
Yeah. I sincerely hope there's another Crackdown. I do, after playing that. I think the framework is there for a good game. I think it needs to actually have a good vision and make stuff for it, though.
I think they need to promise less and deliver a top tier game.
Well,
Anyway,
and I think that's why you see that with stuff like Halo Infinite. All we've ever seen from that is a engine trailer, and that's it. Which I have to assume we get more news about Halo Infinite this year. But Gears 5 is this fall too, though. I keep forgetting about that. So we'll see. Moving on. Elder Scrolls Online is getting a new expansion, Wrathstone. I don't know if you guys watched the trailer, but it kind of sets up what they are calling Season of the Dragon. So dragons are returning, aside from when they returned in Skyrim, I guess. But they're returning to Tamriel. The trailer looks pretty good. Of course, I haven't played Elder Scrolls Online, admittedly, for a long time. I got pretty into it when it first hit consoles, but I've not touched it since. I don't know. Any of you guys have any interest in getting into Elder Scrolls, or?
Kaboski does. I think that's it.
I knew there was a few in our
Only
community
Cabo.
that was into it, but
Only Cabo. That's it.
yeah. So yeah, there you go, Cabo. That was for you. Moving on. The wannabe Paladins game Overwatch is getting a new character called Baptista.
Pushing your luck there, Doc.
Look, I call it like I see it. I mean, to be fair, Overwatch is good. It's just not epic level good. So, mobilize alongside the combat medic who has made shrewd decisions to make the world a better place, one bandage or bullet at a time. Saw the trailer for this. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Hopefully he balances out the GOAT meta that's happening right now.
Yeah,
in
the whole
Overwatch.
three tank, 3 healers kind of thing
Yeah,
going on.
it's
Yeah.
just like if you guys have caught any of the Overwatch like Pro League, it's just like a boring meta. Like
Yeah.
it's D.Va, Zarya, and then either Reinhardt or the monkey, and then
Winston,
3
come
healers.
on.
Yeah, Winston, and then you got Brigitte, Zenyatta, Lucio, and that's it. Those
Yeah,
are like the only people they select. Maybe like when a guy in Atlanta who's like one of the best players in the world, DeFran, selected Torbjorn at the beginning of a game. People went nuts because they're like, "Oh my God, somebody
He's going
not
against
in the
meta.
Yeah, and I mean, that dude could play any character and he would dominate.
He's really good, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope this breaks up the meta and like makes it so other players are viable again.
Is that
I've
what you
been-
think one healer is going to do it?
I
That's gonna
mean,
fix it?
Well, I mean,
depending
more
on
of
the
an-
abilities he gives, I haven't gotten a
Yeah.
chance to jump into the PTR. But yeah, I mean, Brigitte changed the entire game. Like the only reason that the GOAT meta is possible is because of Brigitte, pretty much.
All right, fair enough. I'm not going to pretend that I know what I'm talking about. So go on.
yeah, so that is that's the news for the week.
Okay, hey, we did it. Speaking of new things for the week, how about these new games that are coming out this week, Lydonian? Tell us about them.
Ooh, yeah, so we got
There's a ton of them.
Black Desert Online, March 4th, for all you guys that like to do AFK fishing. This is the game for you.
Boy, do I.
Yeah, Doc, I bet you. Sadly, I don't think
Could I
you're
do that
kidding.
instead of playing Anthem? Because
Yeah.
it's right up my playlist if that's the case.
Yeah, also this like fits your possible Japanese anime like
Go on.
craze. Yeah,
I'm
the
listening.
way they dress. I don't know.
Continue.
Anyway, next we got Devil May Cry 5, March 8th. I've never played any of these games. From what they're kind of like
I think a couple of them are on Game Pass, I think, maybe.
No, I know, but they're kind of like a sword slashy game, right?
Definitely
Yeah,
hack and
hack and
slash.
slash.
Yeah,
It's
hack and slash, yeah.
action-oriented, like, I don't know. It's not platformery, but you're definitely jumping around a lot, though, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Next we got on the Xbox back compatibility, we got Hydrophobia, which never even heard of that game.
Is that
Anyone?
fear of water?
That is,
I-
in fact, the actual term, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe you're the person who doesn't know how to swim stuck in the middle of the ocean. I don't know.
You don't get any points awarded, though, Risky. You have to phrase it as what is.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
You're welcome.
And then Marathon Durandal. Yeah. Hopefully you're running a marathon. That
Oh,
would be my kind of
God.
game.
Couple big hitters on Back Compat this week,
Right? All right. With games with gold for March, we got Adventure Time, Pirates, and Chiridion.
Enchilada.
I actually thought that was a Mexican dish when I first looked at it. But
It's not enchilada, is it?
No.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, my God, they spelled that terribly. Yeah, Adventure Time's a cool show. I would assume this game would be pretty funny. I don't know about the actual gameplay, but then we got Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2,
Yes.
which seems like a better mobile game than it does on the Xbox, but that's just me. Star Wars Republic Commando.
OG Xbox.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that game coming out. It's decent. And then the worst Metal Gear
you
game
take
ever.
that back.
Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
That is the best story of a Metal Gear game ever.
Oh, boy.
Nobody take Doc seriously. He
No,
hasn't played
no.
Anthem yet, so
Look,
yeah.
if you guys want a off the charts, effed up crazy story, play that game because boy does it go places. It is
Or you
something.
could just play Metal Gear Solid 5 and you'd get like good gameplay as well as a crazy story.
I mean,
Or just play Anthem and you.
I do think you can make your
You can
helicopter
get-
play Toto by Africa, and that does make good gameplay in my opinion. So yeah.
Yep. All right. PS Plus for March, we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, which if you don't have that already, pick it up because it's a great game.
Yep.
And then we got The Witness, which I think that's on. Isn't that on Xbox Game Pass? Could be wrong, but
I'm sure it was Games with Gold
I think
not
it was
so long
Games with
ago.
Gold, yeah.
I'll say,
Yeah.
I definitely have that game, and I definitely didn't pay for that game.
I got it somehow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another. It just reminds me of Hello Neighbor, where I would just run into puzzles and I would have no idea what was going on.
Oh,
So
some
I
of
just
them in
had to
that game
Google
are
stuff
tough,
all the
though.
time.
Yeah, that game made me feel real dumb.
Yep, it's very good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Also, guys, I just want to shout out Viva La Sweeney for. I don't know if you guys saw this month. He did a step challenge with me.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and he lost because his
Oh.
watch broke. Like a week, with a week left to go. So, and just like Doc, he has not called Garmin to fix his watch. So I'm only calling him out. So he actually does call Garmin and tries to redeem himself in March. Because right now I'm crushing him.
I need to get
He
in
was-
on that too.
He was pushing you though in February, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was funny because I just work from home, so I don't really take that many steps if I'm just like working. But I would just go for a run and catch up for him, and he would be he would like work all day and be like, "Oh, look I'm way ahead of you," and then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'll just go for a run and catch up."
Yeah.
See,
So-
I need to get in on that because at my job I stand all the time and all I do is walk around and stand. So like I feel like I would inadvertently get a lot of steps.
Yeah, you probably would, but the cost of entry is like at least $115 to get a
Son
Garmin
of a-
step tracker, which is nothing for you.
So what you're saying is
No,
we have
no,
to pay
you
115
you
to.
say that, but as soon as you see my wife's budget compared to mine, you'd be like, "Oh man."
Well, yeah, she's
take
got to go
5
shopping,
months.
Doc. Anyway, I just wanted to shout out Sweeney so he fixes his damn watch.
Get after it, Sweeney.
Trust me, sweetie. Given my Anthem history, take care of it, please.
So hopefully Lydonian just set a precedence there for our guest hosts just always yell and call out other members of the community.
You know, like, what the hell? I'm called out when I'm off the show, so I'm going to do
To
the
be
same thing
fair-
when I'm on it.
To be fair, that's absolutely true. So.
Yeah, if anyone was allowed to do it, I guess it was you, huh?
Yeah, I made my wife listen to that episode where you guys just took like 5 minutes straight of Lydonian bashing. And it was just, she was laughing her head off, so.
We give the people what they want. Nothing
true.
more, nothing less.
It's true.
All right, let's plug this show up. Head on over to crossatlanticgaming.com to get links to every single thing we do. Also, hit us up in Discord. Discord is where everything goes down every day. That's where, if you're not there, where are you? You're not where you need to be. Links for that are in the show notes. On Twitter and Instagram, you can follow us at CAG Podcast. Patreon, if you'd like to support us, we are at patreon.com/CAG Podcast. I also want to talk for a quick second about our stream team and our Mixer channel and all of that stuff. We have unified our streaming into one central location, and that is either Mixer.com. I said one central location. Now I'm going to give you two locations.
Both
Mixer-
the same name, though. I mean, basically.
Right. Mixer.com/CrossAtlanticGaming or Twitch.tv/CrossAtlanticGaming. We
No spaces.
no spaces, right? Because you can't put spaces in a URL. Anyways,
Also,
But-
if you have Amazon Prime and you're not using it for anything, you could throw us your Prime our way. That wouldn't cost you anything extra. So
subs are subs. Yeah, check us out. We are streaming every Monday at, somebody help me out.
Chocolate, what's your old sign?
12 GMT time, which will be
7 EST.
Yeah, good.
So if you need something over here in the States at 7 a.m. to get your Mondays going, there's that. And then the U.S. guys usually stream Tuesday nights around 10.
Yep.
Time zones vary, but it's usually right around 10. So,
And with being unified under one channel, you will definitely see our channel going live more often, just because before we would have people on their own accounts going live at various times. Now it's all going to be under that account throughout the week, so you'll probably catch us more often throughout the week now.
it also means we're at like 15 followers right now because we just started over. So
Yeah, well,
head to either of those places, drop a like, or like, because that's what you do on those things. Drop a like. Perfect.
Risky.
Yeah.
It took me months to get to 15 followers, so just calm down here.
All right.
Slowly roll.
Lydonian's like, that is a monumental milestone. Take that back, sir.
Well, Lydonian is one of the fine streamers that you can see streaming on Tuesday nights.
It's high quality content.
So
I did
tune
think it was
into
weird
that.
when Lydonian was streaming on our channel and he just kept promoting his. I was like, this seems like a conflict of interest. But
Wait, what?
I'm
I
just
don't
kidding.
remember that.
I'm kidding.
Also, I'll be streaming Anthem this Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time.
With Doc, who knows?
Maybe.
Tune in to find out.
Doubtful.
Tune in next week.
And I mentioned this at the top of the show, but next week is our Patreon drawing, like I said, and you guys still have a week for that. So patreon.com/CAG podcast if you'd like to get in on the drawing. I think that's going to do it. We almost stayed under 2 hours.
Oh, did we?
We're close.
Yeah, we made it.
If you need to find me, I'm at Risky the Kid everywhere. Doc,
Doc H1X1 everywhere.
Chocolate,
Chocolate Bear 80 everywhere.
and Lydonian.
Lydonian everywhere.
All
Hey,
right.
hey, Chocolate, did you update your brand picture? Because it looks like you have one with Dora the Explorer in it now. Is that official or no? Is that not? Oh, okay. I guess it's not official. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay quiet.
Sorry.
All right. Well, hey, Lydonian, thanks for being on the show. A pleasure, as always.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
Glad to be
Dovey.
back.
Thank
Woo!
you.
All right. Thank you, everyone else, for tuning into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Who brought the best dad joke?
Guys, all
Oh, here we
right.
go.
So
Oh,
I'm about to be a dad in like under a month, and my best friend gave me a dad jokes book.
Oh,
boy.
Yeah, got some good ones here.
Here we go.
We're
All right.
ready.
What did one eye say to the other eye?
aye, aye.
Between you and me, something
Oh.
smells.
Oh.
I like it.
What
One
do
for one.
What do snowmen do in their spare time? They just chill.
Man, I feel like that was less
All right.
good.
That was
yeah.
a step down.
Yeah.
But
What's
redeem yourself.
black, white, and red all over?
Red all over. It's a newspaper. What?
Damn it!
Come on. Context.
All right. All right. Why did the monster see a psychiatrist? He felt abominable. These are not good.
Hey, I got one.
Hey, 1 for 4 isn't
What-
bad.
what
Yeah,
type
that's
Or
true.
is it?
What type of shoes do the spies always wear?
No idea.
Sneakers.
Oh.
What do you call a dinosaur that crashed his car?
A T-Rex his car.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, you got it.
Damn.
pretty much. Yeah, you got it.
All right, hey, good enough. Lydonian, you're going to be a bad joke teller.
Yep.
I was about to call you a bad dad, but that would have been rude, so I called you a bad joke teller.
Only time will tell.
Thanks for being on the show.
You betcha.